Sun, Moon, Ascendant, and Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing a very special reading for you. This is an end of a 165-year cycle. So we're going to be looking at Neptune going retrograde, re-entering into Pisces for the last time in our lifetimes, right? In 165 years. And it is a powerhouse of energy that is coming forward. So let's see what the tarot has to say. And if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. And if you're interested in a reading, a private meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It is linked in the description box below. So now let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Love that. Okay, that's significant, and we'll get to it in just a moment. So we have the Ace of Wands, we have the Moon, we have the Hangman. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. We have the Hierophant. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Nine of Cups, angels. Ooh. We have the Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, the Two of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is our bonus card. This is a powerful time. This is a power time, astrologically speaking, because Neptune is moving from Aries, where Neptune hasn't been in Aries since the late 1800s. So the energy that we have been in is rare, it's powerful, and well, it has been rare, it's going to become much more common, but we are seeing ourselves stepping into power, and it has gone retrograde. So it's gone from Aries, and now it is re-entering into Pisces, where it is for its final time in its 165-year cycle of this connection. So what we're going to see here is that we're looking at dreams that haven't come true, or things that aren't suiting us anymore. And Neptune is the dreamer. Neptune is the planet of imagination and spirituality, of oneness, and of divine inspiration. Neptune also rules Pisces, okay? And Pisces is the vast open ocean. It is the sea, it is the connection, it is water sign energy, it is emotion and feeling and spirit. Aries is about action. So what we're going to see is that we're moving into a time where we're putting action to what it is that we want. And this is the last time, I think it is from the 22nd to the 10th of November that Neptune is in Pisces. And I know that it comes out of retrograde on December 10th, and it enters into we enter into the new year with Aries guiding Neptune, and that is power, because at the heart of everything is the Ace of Wands, and this is fire sign energy, right? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We are also an Aries. You are an Aries, and Aries energy is about power. It's about tenacity. It's about determination. It is about getting the job done. It's about moving things forward. It's about connection, and it's about making dreams happen. And you are connecting with the planet of dreams. So you're really looking, Aries, openly and honestly about what you want, where you're headed, what you're going for, what you want to build in your life. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing you a gift of passion, of creativity, of fire. This is the fire that gets you out of bed in the morning. This is the, I got to get stuff done. This is passion and distinction and determination. And the energy that is the challenge here is the moon, and this is Pisces energy. Time frame of Pisces is February 19th to March 20th. Neptune moves into Pisces, right? So here we have the challenge being the dreams coming forward. The ideas of things can be much more alluring than the actuality of them, than putting them into action. And Aries, we love action. So this is going to be a time where in this retrograde, we have the dissolving of illusions, but illusions are going to come through. It's like the sense of, what do I really want? What is the illusion? And what is my passion, my drive, my determination, my focus? Here, we're also looking at fear. what is it that I want, but I'm afraid of going after. There's also going to be kind of like a throw down the gauntlet type of time where it's like, this is what I want. This is what I'm going after. This is what I need now. And it is that the weaving together of the Aries energy and the Pisces energy, because they're so different and yet they're right next to each other, right? One is the beginning of the zodiac. One is the ending of the zodiac. One is action and determination. One is peace and harmony and chill, right? And Aries, sometimes, people joke and say, Aries has no chill. So here we are finding a balance to our dreams. But there is also this sense of, I'm saying goodbye to the fears that held me back. And I'm saying goodbye to what has kept me small. And that's this, as Neptune is in Pisces, that's the energy around here. It's like, no, I'm letting this go. And we're becoming very aware of things that have held us back, that have kept us small, dreams that aren't our dreams anymore, or were somebody else's dreams. And we're like, yeah, okay, that sounds like a good idea. And then we're like, no, that's not what my heart wants. That's not what I want. And at the root of it all is the Hangman. We're seeing things so very differently than we have seen it before. And as this knowledge comes in, it comes with awakening. It comes with wisdom. It comes with a greater understanding. You're also going to find yourself kind of in a new place, in this new energy sphere, in this new way of looking at yourself and looking at what it is that you want. And it brings us to what we're now leaving behind. And this is the Hierophant. Now, this is Taurus energy. Time frame is April 21st to May 22nd, right? Or May 20th. There we go. And what we're going to see here with the Hierophant is that these are structures that we no longer fit into. We are looking at things and we're looking at what we want. We're looking at the rules of what we desire. We're looking at the bigger picture of where we need to be. And it can be that we're leaving a Taurus energy isn't going to be as prevalent in our lives as it once was. But we're also leaving behind this sense of, I need to fit into this structure, this rules, this way of doing things. And so there's a freeing here. There's a release here that is going to be very inspiring. And as you are releasing, you're also seeing your own talents come forward. There has been a major shift energetically during this time, during this year. And there is this cleanse, there's this release, there's this focus, and we can tend to have the focus a bit blurred during this time. So with Neptune going back into Pisces, and Neptune rules Pisces, so it is the energy of the dreams, it is the energy of connection with spirit, it is the energy of imagination. It's kind of like the thought of doing something can be as satisfying as actually doing it. So we have to be mindful of that. So it's kind of like we can think of eating, right? It's using that analogy, which is kind of a poor one, but it kind of works here. Where it's like, if you think of eating, it is not the same as actually eating, right? So sometimes you could be like, oh, I should really, get lunch. But you're busy working, you're busy doing things, and you forget. And you're like, didn't I do that? And it's like, no, I just thought of it. That type of energy is going to be very powerful with Neptune in Pisces. I thought of it, but I didn't do it. And so here with the Aries energy that we are, okay, it is that distinction, that determination, that focus around our dreams. And we're going to see that there's a release of what I no longer want. And there's a release of like, this is what other people said, or I listened to somebody else and it was supposed to be hard, right? Or they're supposed to be suffering. And I'm not allowed to have what it is that I want. But your greatest strength is the Knight of Cups. It's using this time of heart energy, this time of deeply connecting with spirit, this time when thought and reality are blending together and holding up what is most sacred to you and moving forward. You're rising above the chaos of the world, the chaos of those around you. And you're saying, but this is what I want. This is what I need. I fell into chaos, okay? Because so many of us have. We have fallen into chaos. And now I rise above it. This is a time where your strength is movement, it's action, it's determination. But this is water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. It is water sign energy that is leading you forward, your heart that is guiding you towards so much more. And as your heart guides you, okay, what you're going to see is that you need to listen to that intuitive energy. Why? Because it's not going to be quite as strong for another, 165 years. So here we're starting, and to kind of break this down, we're starting another 14-year cycle come in December. So what we're going to see is that doors are opening. This is a time where we're looking at the dreams of things or the illusions of things, the thoughts of things, and even those thoughts that were shackles around us, chains around us, that was like, oh, I can't do that because, again, I always use the example of my third grade teacher who told me I had no artistic ability. And I remember it distinctly because we were doing a self-portrait and I was very, very proud of my picture, as a third grader is. And she made me have, sideburns like Elvis. I just remember looking at them and thinking, you made it so ugly now. Not that there's anything wrong with Elvis, but I didn't look like Elvis. And I was so upset and so disappointed. And then I just didn't want to do it. Like, I didn't want to do it. And now there's an energy that's like coming back to creativity, coming back to creating. And here, what you're going to see in the near future is the sense of somebody ruined something for you. Okay? That's what I'm getting at. And they didn't have to do it in a big way. It was just a way where there was this like creative energy all around you. And they kind of poked a hole in it. And they diminished your balloon, like they diminished your excitement, your joy. You're coming back to what it is that you want. You're seeing the illusions that were once truths, right? Were once truths. Or like an ex telling you that you aren't lovable, right? It's not true. It was an illusion. It was what maybe they saw. It was something mean to say in the heat of the moment. And now you are releasing. You're like, no. And you're freeing yourself from all these shadows. And as you do so, the advice is to surround yourself with what you love. But it's also to surround yourself like with sweetness of existence, but also the royalty of being, the power of self, hidden truths, creativity, insight, understanding. And there's a sense here also, Aries, of sharing your blessings with others. You're not meant to be hidden in the corner. You're not meant to hide away. You're meant to stand boldly in your present, embracing your dreams, embracing your tenacity. And the environment that you're in, like there's a lot of emotions coming forward. And the illusions that are going to be seen are like lies being called out. And as the lies are being called out, what you're going to see for yourself and within yourself is the sense of like a freeing of the heart, like a freeing of love and connection and what it is that you want. Others are going to try and knock you into their negativity. Do be mindful about that. And there is a sense of coming out of chaos, coming out of hurt and pain, and stepping into power and insight. And as you do so, it moves you to a place of like finding balance, but also be very mindful that you can take on more than you can handle. And it'll be like, oh, I got this, oh, I got that. But you're going to see that you've been doubting some decisions that you have made. And what you're going to be seeing is like there's a calm that comes over you. There's a sense of insight. There's a sense of deeper understanding. Now with Neptune going into, Pisces, into retrograde into Pisces, there is going to be that sense again of like illusions and the dreams of things, not the reality of it. It's kind of like, oh, I always dreamt of, running a restaurant, right? But the reality of it is that like you live at that restaurant. That becomes your whole life. For some people, that's absolutely great. For others, it's not what they wanted. It wasn't what the dream was. The dream was more enticing than the reality. So just be mindful that we are stepping into an energy where the dreams become more enticing than the reality. And then we can berate ourselves because the dream is so beautiful, but the reality is so very different. So being aware of this is going to be very important, and really stepping into the Aries energy that makes us up. That is that sense of hard work, diligence, dedication, determination, rolling up your sleeves and going after what you want. And everything starts to move really quickly. And this is going to bring up fear, and it is also going to bring up a lot of joy because it's like, yes, things are moving in the right direction. And then it's like, oh my gosh, things are picking up momentum in a way that is kind of overwhelming, like that I hadn't anticipated. So being aware of that and really understanding that is going to be important. It's kind of like saddle up. You're in for an intense ride. And as everything starts to pick up speed, you're going to start to see doors opening in a way that is like, say yes, move forward. And you're also going to see old fears falling away. And you're going to see yourself tackling things that used to make you like, kind of like just want to shut down, like be completely overwhelmed. And with the Two of Wands as the outcome, doors open, and doors open to the Knight of Swords, to air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But this is a sense of the mind, the voice, bringing action into what it is that you want. Doors are opening. You're seeing not only in the right now, but you're looking into the future of what it is that you want, what it is that you're going for. And the Knight of Swords is my White Knight card. I always think of him as Prince Philip in Sleeping Beauty, right? And so you're slaying the dragons. And I love that allegory of slaying the dragon, cutting through the poison of the world, ascending, right? Consciously, subconsciously, that ascension into waking up the sacred feminine, waking up what has been sleeping, what has been dormant within us, and being able to move forward in knowledge and in power of voice, no longer hiding away from what you want to create in your world and what you're going after. No longer thinking, oh my gosh, I must be wrong. Because it's like, why must you be wrong? And why are they right? It is stepping into the power of what you want, of what you want to create, of what it is that you're looking for, of the bigger picture of where it is that you want to be. It moves us then to your spirit energy, Aries. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And this is earth. This is grounding yourself in the earth, right? On the earth, in the earth. This is also, as one of you lovely, lovely, lovely watchers pointed out, that the earth is also the transition that the earth is in, that we went through, the autumn equinox or the spring equinox, depending on where you are in the world. And what you're seeing here is a connection with the earth, a connection with change, a connection with insight. And we're seeing that in this retrograde as well. A connection from Neptune in Aries, a place where it hasn't been for quite some time. And a real sense of grounding and a sense of like, I can make this come true. I've got this. I know this type of thing. It's like when a dreamer and a doer come together, and it's like, those dreams are amazing. I never could have had them. Now let's put them into action in a way that the dreamer would have lost interest in. You're grounding yourself, and you are now taking really proactive interest in your dreams and what you want, and looking at the bigger picture of where it is that you want to be. It brings us then to the chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh, as that flies away. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. I love how that just fell right out the heart. And this is the heart chakra. This is love. Embrace love. You have the King of Cups, right? The Knight of Cups right here. The sense of moving forward in love. And the sense of being guided by love, kind of calming things down. You're going to think in this time that it's going to be really important to speed everything up. That's part of the fear, is that everything's going to come at you a little bit too fast and a little bit too overwhelming. You will have a tendency, Aries, to take on too much, because when you're in the zone of doing everything, it's kind of like, oh, I got this, right? Until it becomes just a little bit too much. And then you start to fall, or things start to crumble, and it just becomes very overwhelming. So do be mindful about that. That's why Spirit is saying balance, and be mindful of emotions. Be mindful of your own emotions during this time, because Pisces energy and Neptune in Pisces, very good at dreaming and connecting, but also really, really good at being swamped by emotions, swamped by feelings, big feelers. Pisces energy, water sign energies are big feelers, but Pisces especially. And there is a sense here of not letting your heart, right, as you embrace your heart chakra, not letting your heart overwhelm you, not, sitting there and then kind of having too much of an emotional reaction to things. That's going to be very dramatic, very overwhelming, and kind of tempering things with the beautiful Aries practicality and passion. It moves us then to the energy to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is, that Eight of Wands, that energy that we want to speed everything up. We want to make up for lost time. We feel like, oh my gosh, I lost this, I lost that. I didn't do this in the right time. And Spirit is saying divine timing. Divine timing is not mortal timing. And sometimes divine timing is so frustrating, because it's like, dude, what the heck? I could have had so much more time doing this. I should have, been here, been there, done this, done that. And Spirit is saying, in my time, listen. So kind of like letting go of ego during this time, and letting go of fear. Fear is also part of ego, which I know it's all intense. It's like, if I could let go of ego and fear, like, things would be great. But it's letting go of saying that everybody else's way of living was the right way of doing things. as long as you move forward in love and in kindness, as long as you do no harm and walk gently on this earth, you're doing great. Be mindful of getting caught up in the rat race of it all. It'll be very, very easy during this time, especially. So just be aware of that. Because by the end of 2025, there's a clarity that comes to the dreams of what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, what it is that you're building. It brings us then to the subconscious spirit message, and this is celestial, right? We are talking about the cosmos. We're talking about planetary alignment here. The stars, the planets, they have a bigger impact on you, Aries, than you realize. And here, subconsciously, you're going to know it. You're going to be like, I wonder where the moon is, in the sky. I wonder what planets are aligned. Like, check the astrology of it all. It's going to play a bigger role than you think. And then we have the heart chakra coming through once again, and this is play. Subconsciously, you want to play. You want to embrace joy. Remember that we as human beings, we do not play if we do not feel safe. So it is embracing safety and security, play and joy within our lives. It moves us then to the energy to be mindful of here subconsciously, another 8. So we can be very very grounded, grounded is really good, right? Being grounded, but like we can be very all work, no play, very rigid with ourselves. So being aware of this is going to be super important here with the 8 of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands and the 8 of Wands here, that repeat of the number 8, especially 3 times, is Spirit saying, be mindful of having to be so practical with everything that we miss the joy, that we miss the bigger, connection of creativity, of insight. The dreams that come forward, yes, we're saying, we're kind of calling out the dreams that don't fit or what other people wanted us to do during this time especially. But what we're also going to be seeing here is that we can be finding that we're coming back to dreams that were so important to us and that we kind of gave up on and said, oh, that's so silly. I can't do that. And now the beautiful weaving of Neptune in Aries and Neptune in Pisces is that we're like, well, why can't I? And some things we're like, well, I just don't want to do that. So that's fine. I'm not sad about it at all. It moves us then to the subconscious tarot message. And that is the 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Wands is celebration. It is success. It is, celebrations that you are really, really proud of. The big ones like home and kids and partners and careers and just like all the big things that make up a life. But it's also all the beautiful little things that make up an existence. It is that sense of joy of getting out of bed in the morning, that sense of joy of connecting with those around you or with the spirit, and that sense of elevation of soul and awakening of heart, and learning to live a celebratory life, a sense of celebrating who it is that you are and what it is that you want. And that's what we're setting up for the next 14 years. This sense of celebrating a simpler existence, but an exquisite existence, but a no less beautiful one. So here, it might be a simpler time that our hearts are stepping into, because our hearts are stepping and longing for something a little bit quieter, a little bit calmer, a little bit more connected, even as the world yells and screams and throws its tantrums. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you, and with you being Aries and Neptune being in Aries and coming into this energy for like the first time in, since the 18th century in like 165 years. This is big for you. This is big for you. And I hope you appreciate the power that you're stepping into, that you have around you, because it is quite exquisite. And here it is making dreams into reality. And that's going to be a superpower. That's going to be a way that you just like see things, and people are going to be like, how did you do that? Like, how did you do that? It was a problem that was keeping me like anxiety riddled, right? The person will be like, I was anxiety riddled about this, and you just solved this problem. Okay, cool. Like, so it can bring up jealousy, but you're also going to be kind of a fix-it type of person, which is really, really neat. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Bye.